All right. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Kirsten. Super excited to have you guys here. And just welcome. Thank you guys for joining a great resident experience that starts with Google. And honestly, just taking time out of your guys' day to be here with us. Those that love to take notes, so me, right? I'm definitely a note taker. You guys can sit back, relax, enjoy the presentation. You guys will all get a copy of the recording after this, so don't worry about that piece. Also, we will be doing live Q&A throughout, or the best that we can, right? So if you guys have a question, please feel free to put that in the chat, and we'll answer to the best of our ability during. We will also have some time afterwards. But honestly, so honored to have Katie and Emily. Thank you guys so much for being here. You guys have tremendous knowledge of the industry, of specifically the senior care industry, and I'm really excited you guys were able to join today. Just we'll kick it off, and our point of view at Reputation is that feedback fuels growth, right? And our key differentiator is that we're the only platform that manages experience from acquisition all the way to loyalty. So ultimately, we want to be able to align to your guys' key business outcomes, which allows us to better partner with you and have the greatest impact. And what this means is you guys see over on the left-hand side, right, on the acquisition side, we want to drive awareness, which is essentially driving more leads, right? And conversion, which is more revenue, more sales. And then over there on the right-hand side, you'll see the loyalty, right? We're focused on driving retention and improving, your resident and family satisfaction. And then advocacy, which is getting your best customers, right? Your employees, your families, your residents, even volunteers, to advocate for you guys and tell others. So we are the leading partner for senior care and founded the Reputation Experience Management category. And for the last 15 years, we've been helping 100 plus senior care brands and 400 plus healthcare clients improve. And not only the Reputation Experience Management, but we're also part of the Google Cloud Marketplace. In other words, ecosystem partners to Google. And before we, really dive into this and get started, I wanted to kick off a poll with you guys and really just to understand, for the folks that are on the call, what's most important to you guys. And that first one, right? Is it awareness? Is it helping your customers find you in the first place and generate leads? Is it B, conversions to help you guys stand out and maybe increase, your move-ins, admissions? Is it retention, right? Wanting to improve your resident satisfaction to maybe decrease, an AMA or a move out? Or is it that last one, advocacy, right? Driving the referral business and having them just advocate and tell others. So let's see what we got here. I'm Emily and Katie. I'm interested in this one.
Me too, Kirsten. I can't wait to see what the winner is.
Yeah. Okay. So far, retention is a big one right now. That's awareness. I'll give it a few more seconds. I always feel like I'm a race caller for like a horse race or something. Like, oh, so and so is taking the lead.
It looks like awareness is taking the lead.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, the awareness, right? Just honestly helping your customers just find you in the first place and generate leads. So that's awesome. And I'm excited because we've got a lot of good stuff around that specific piece today that we're going to share with you guys. So we'll go ahead and close the poll now. And perfect. All right. So today, we're built on the idea that you no longer have control over your brand anymore, right? Your customers do. They're researching their options, their parents' options, and really just making decisions based on feedback from others. And this feedback can be found anywhere and everywhere, right? Whether you're asking for it or not. and it's impacting your business. And even just reviews like you're seeing on the screen, that you're seeing on the screen are pretty common. So speaking of reviews, they're actually one of the fastest growing factors in Google's search algorithm. So in other words, you could think of that as how you end up on the first page, right? Or that top 3 when someone is searching for, let's say, skilled nursing or home health, memory care, assisted living near them, right? And are you wanting to actually gain visibility and attract more residents? Because 82% of senior living community residents actually used online reviews during their selection process. So the better optimized your Google presence is, the more likely you are to actually generate those leads and grow your revenue. And that leads me into my first question. And Katie, I'll start with you. For you guys, why is Google so important to your business, and how are you guys utilizing that?
Yeah, thanks so much, Kirsten, for giving me the opportunity to share. Our communities all run paid ads, but they only go so far. Especially if everyone around us, our competitors, have better reviews or more reviews. So it's been really important for us to know what people are saying about our communities so that we can better interact with those online consumers and also take the feedback to make necessary adjustments, which will organically improve our reputation and therefore position during Google searches. So, we have thousands of happy residents and families, and so we find it very important for us, for our prospects, to be able to read those real-world testimonials about our communities.
Awesome, Katie. Just as Kirsten said, senior care consumers, they really start by searching their options through Google, by reading online ratings and reviews. And I think that's exactly why Google is important to our business today. And I think each one of you guys can attest to looking at reviews and ratings before you maybe select a restaurant or a hotel, or even when we're selecting our healthcare services. At Impress, we take the time to post photos, events, and review stories. So those happy customers, what they're saying about us, and we post those to our Google business pages to enhance our search engine optimization so that people can find us on Google easier. We know that a Google business profile helps to ensure that people find your business when looking for products and services like yours in their local area. And so having information on our Google My Business pages gives those consumers a reason to take time to check you out, me out, and all of our healthcare services.
Awesome. Yeah, no, thank you guys so much. And I popped over to Q&A, and Luke, thank you so much. That was sweet. And we've got a few questions in there, but I want to get into this next one really quick, and Luke had some good questions. So Emily, though, I want to ask you something. So I think you guys had a great example of how you guys essentially created an FAQ, right on your Google pages.
Yeah, we utilize our Google business pages by posting common questions and answering those questions for the public to see right when they begin reviewing our Google business page, right when they get on Google. So essentially, they are getting the information that they need directly from the Google Knowledge Panel, which includes the Q&A, without even needing to, reroute to our website. It's just right on there. And Reputation has great functionality that allows us to bulk upload those questions and answers to all of our communities or specific communities, depending on what's going on different in those communities. And so using that functionality allows us to be efficient when new questions pop up. So when I think of the importance behind these updates, I'm really thankful that Reputation has the functionality to quickly upload question and answers. At Impress, we have 50 centers. And so Reputation allows me just to, in a few clicks of some buttons, upload question and answers right from there. And so I think of COVID-19, that would have been the perfect time to upload bulk questions, related to visitation, vaccine requirements, and COVID transparency notifications as they're changing, and things are just changing all the time in healthcare. And so that is the perfect time to bulk upload those questions.
Emily, yeah, what a great tip. And we actually ended up having 2 questions come in around this. And so Katie, Emily, feel free to jump in. The first one is, what are some examples, and you shared some, but what are other good examples of maybe some FAQs that we should be putting in Q&A? And I thought of, a few, and again, Katie and Emily, please jump in. But honestly, anything that your residents or families are asking on an ongoing basis, right? For example, if you have a call center and there's something trending, or maybe around tours, if you're hiring, do you have caregivers that, speak Spanish or Mandarin, right? Those are some good ones that we've used in the past. But Katie, Emily, do you guys have anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, I'll just pop in on here real quick. So on the screen, you can see a couple questions that are on here. What services do you provide? And who do I speak with about financials, billing, and admission paperwork? So just those questions for the Q&A especially. It's just those questions that you're getting asked on a daily basis, or things that you share on your brochure. It's easy just to upload those questions so that you don't have to go to the center to get a brochure. Again, it's just quick access right at their fingertips without being redirected somewhere else.
Awesome. And the other question in here was, how often are you posting to your Google business profiles? Is it daily, weekly?
Yeah, I can pop in here. For us, we have been posting, we've really ramped it up to start posting more often, but really when we share an event on social media, or it's a holiday, our centers are sharing fun activities, we make sure to go back and post them on our Google business pages, just to show that we're active on there. So I don't know if we have necessarily a daily or weekly, but I would say at least we're posting, maybe a couple times a week, if not a few times a month for sure.
Awesome. No, those are good questions. Keep them coming. And honestly, what this does is it signals to Google that your listing is fresh, right, and updated. In other words, right, active. And a listing that is active is much more likely to show up in search results. So, which is always a good thing. And Katie, I know you guys have also taken advantage of some of Google's attributes and different things, and really had some great digital leads from it. Please explain.
Yes. You can see on the screen here, this is a screenshot of one of our community profiles. And toward the middle bottom there, it says make appointment. So we use that function that then links the viewer to a tour scheduler on our websites. So we found really great success with converting leads almost instantly. In the middle of the screenshot, you can see where it says appointments, and then someone clicks that link, and then you can see the screenshot of that scheduler on our website. Someone can choose a date and time and schedule their tour right there, right away. Each of our communities receives several leads each month from this source, and we do see that these leads convert to move-ins at a higher rate than some of our other sources. So we found it to be a very successful, immediate conversion for those people that are, looking into senior living right now and would like to make an appointment right now.
Awesome. I love that. No, thank you for sharing. And we know that reviews, right, or the things that you guys are doing to stay active really improve your SEO, right? Or in other words, your search engine optimization, and enhance that visibility so people can find you. But it's important to increase your online sentiment as well, right? To ensure that the feedback you're getting is actually reflective of the quality of care that you guys are providing. And reviews in this space, we know this, right, are really, really different than, let's say, retail or hospitality. And Katie, I'll go to you this time. How are you guys handling this process?
Yeah, Kirsten, you're right. It is a very different experience than retail or automotive. We're a very personal business, and our residents and team members and families expect that personal touch. So I have built a half hour of time into my calendar every single day, and I log into Reputation during that time every day to respond and read all of the reviews that have come in since the last time I logged in. I found that keeping up with just a handful of reviews every day is so much easier than trying to go back and read and respond to weeks worth at a time, or even days worth at a time. So I can, keep up with them better and really read them, pay attention to them, respond to them, and resolve anything that needs to be resolved in those reviews. And I've worked with our general counsel to form approved responses to those various common reviews so that it makes it easier for me to make sure I'm responding in an approved way. And all of these responses are preloaded into the platform so that I don't have to retype the response or copy and paste the response every time, or get anyone's approval every time. So it makes it really easy to pop in for half an hour every day and respond to those handful of reviews.
Awesome. Awesome. And Emily, I've got the same question for you.
Yeah. Katie, I think that you nailed that and you have the perfect process. And at Impress, just a couple things that we do to, ensure that we're getting quality of care, the feedback that is appropriate for us. So at Impress, we recommend that our leadership team adds their center's Google review link right to their email signature for all of our families, our residents, and even our vendors that walk through our doors, so that again that we are receiving that those quality reviews that reflect the care that we are providing. This is the most authentic way that I think we can receive those Google reviews. So we also get private family feedback that allows our centers to listen and then reach out to our families and residents to provide service recovery if needed, before we even see those negative reviews hit our Google and our Facebook. So, kind of giving a way to provide an alternative and private route to catch those concerns before we see them publicly. And we also use Reputation's ticketing system that allows the negative reviews to go through, little queues while never losing focus on the responses and actions that we are providing. So again, just like Katie, I look through our reviews every morning and take time to respond to both positive and negative reviews. That's right, I said it. Even if it relates to the dreaded hateful reviews from employees, or even if it's relating to death. Take the time to work with your legal and compliance teams to ensure that you have a response for every review that could possibly come in. Usually the response involves a step in redirecting the reviewer from the platform to learning more about the situation by either calling the center specifically or maybe a department within the company that could kind of redirect that conversation. And what's really nice is that all of the responses are loaded into the platform and they get pre-approved, so I don't have to go back and forth with legal every time a review comes in. So in the meantime, I am ensuring that the centers are aware and they can begin their grievance and service recovery processes while I'm, working on the back end to make sure that everything is covered. This allows us to properly take the time to ensure that not only are we responding to the reviews in a timely manner, but that we are taking the right steps to ensure that the issues are being resolved. And so Reputation's ticketing, they also have another feature that we are in the process of building out so that reviews are automatically sent to the correct parties using tags that we can create. And really, this is going to be a huge help for my team to take some of the manual labor out of tracking people down. So our old process was really the easy way out, and some of you guys may find yourself in this cycle right now. We used to respond to all of the reviews. We would then send them to the proper people, and then we would move on, right? Check, we're on to the next. But now with Reputation, we have taken the time to use the ticketing system that I mentioned and really follow through and close the loop and drive action, which in turn has improved the customer satisfaction in all of our customers.
Gosh, I honestly, I love what you guys both said, and I was noticing there's been some questions in the Q&A, and it relates to videos. So, Emily, Katie, please jump in. So the first question is, can you post videos to Google your Google My Business page?
Kirsten, this kind of rings a bell for me and you, I bet. Great question, Luke. A couple of weeks ago, I actually reached out to Kirsten because I wanted to post a video to Google My Business. And there is a way. It's a little bit more complicated than just posting a photo, but it is done, and I did it pretty quickly. Kirsten, I don't know if we can share a document or how to do that, but it absolutely is a thing. You can post videos.
Awesome. Yeah. And great question. We have another good one in here. Is there a way to do a video review? So Greg's asking, is there a way to do a video review? And totally agree. Spoken word is much more powerful than written. And, right now, Google doesn't have a way, as far as their reviews to be doing that. But we've actually seen a few healthcare clients. A really neat best practice is actually letting their staff read the reviews and filming them reading the reviews and then using that as social posts. So that's been something really cool. And then kind of going along with Luke's question, posting videos to Google My Business could be another really, really cool best practice. So great questions, you guys. And Emily, you hit on something, right? In what you were saying, it's one thing to just read the review, right? And Emily and Katie, you both talked about this, but to actually have a system to follow up and take action on the feedback that you're getting is so important. And honestly, I see too often, that organizations, we all have plenty of data, right? In other words, we're data rich, insights poor. That you've got review data, employee surveys, maybe some like move-in surveys, pulse prospect surveys. You've got your annual family and resident ones, social comments, Indeed and Glassdoor. And honestly, just trying to take all of that data and simplify it can be daunting and honestly challenging. But being able to consolidate all of that, customer experience data into a single view to enable quicker improvements and just get that more complete picture is a game changer to me. But Emily, I'll ask you first, how do you feel like technology honestly of any kind has played a role for you guys in the last few years?
Yeah, that's a great question, Kirsten. So just some background. During COVID, Empress actually invested in customer service, and they hired me as the customer experience specialist. So they saw the need to make a change within the company. So one person, me, could focus on better understanding issues and be able to prioritize the improvements, within the company. And so the screenshot each of you guys sees today is a true testament of the importance within customer service. In the role, I quickly started looking for change and improvements, right? Okay, what do my reputation scores say about my centers? And then is it accurate? Okay, from here, I need to go into these centers. I need to boost morale. I need to get the state surveyors out of their centers, whether it's over resident complaints or something like that. And really just focus on, my people being able to focus on their jobs and not on reportable after reportable and plan of correction after plan of correction. So I did just that. I took one vulnerable center and decided to tackle it. I had a luncheon with the leadership staff, and we just made it fun. I did a presentation over customer service, what their reviews are saying. I talked to residents about their experiences and relayed that information to the leadership team. And then the same thing with the staff. And then that's when we put actions into place. So for residents, we started ambassador rounds for the center in particular. The leadership divided up the center, based on resident rooms. And the team was able to go around daily and talk with their assigned residents using the program that we created. And through that, we set up checklists. But really more important than anything, I just wanted the residents to know that they had an advocate for their care. and any issues that were to arise, they were going to be taken care of because they knew that someone was on their side. And so after a few weeks, we saw a decline in resident grievances, and the residents would even say to our leadership team, "Really, do you think that you could come back in a couple of days?" Because they were in there, so often. And really, that was a score in my book, right? Less resident complaints equals less state calls, equals less survey visits, equals less work for all of my people, equals an overall happier workplace. And so for the frontline staff, I asked them what tools they needed to do their jobs better. And most of it was just to know who they could go to when an issue, came up. So I thought, sure, not a problem. We can put that in place. And so we just made them aware of who to go to if they needed something or, just needed to get something off of their chest. And then we also put an anonymous lockbox in the employee lounge for employee complaints. They could be anonymous or you could put your name on them. But then we just had leadership, go through those on a weekly or monthly basis and then go through those in stand up and see what progress could be made. So, I think personal interaction is the most effective interaction. And just going back to what, Greg said in the chat, it means more when it's personal, right? It's more powerful when it comes from our leadership team, than anything. So we also implemented a communication platform for our company so that communication was enhanced. All of our employees could feel more in the know, I should say. And so we also implemented Snappy Gifts as a way to reward some of our employees. Through that, we would get thank you messages, and we were able to send Google review links, which would also boost our Google and get those quality reviews that reflect our care, our company, and how our employees feel within our company. So as you can see from the screenshot, it's really not going to change overnight. You can see that we jumped 23 points by just prioritizing our customer service and working on ways to make our customers happy. And overall, I think that it really paid off.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And there's a really great question in the chat, and let me look at that one. So it says, let's see, I heard you mention family and resident surveys. So does Reputation have the ability to do surveys and even more specific core Q? Yeah, I can take that one. So the short answer is yes to both. So we've got, flexible, customizable, and, in my mind, comprehensive surveys where you're able to not only track, but you're able to analyze and even operationalize those responses, and all from one platform, right? And you can do that by email, SMS, text messages, or a conversational survey. And that pertaining to that second part of your question, we can upload results to a long-term care trend tracker and that enables you to stay proactive, right, and aware of your scores before, CMS actually adds this to your 5-star rating in Nursing Home Compare, but also enables you to share those scores with your referral partners. So, yeah, good stuff there. But Emily, what I love about what you just shared is not only did you improve, right, your sentiment around nursing and staff, right? You can see that it went from orange to green, but also your responsiveness to concerns got better. And I think that's just a testament to everything that you're doing, that your employees are doing, everything that you've put in place, which I think is really cool. And, Katie, I've got the same question for you, right? And how do you feel like technology, again, of any kind, has played a role in the last few years for you guys?
Yeah, I think, we all kind of had to jump into technology in the last couple years, even quicker or more so than we had in the past. And especially our residents, we really needed to find a way to keep them entertained, keep them connected, and keep them happy. So we invested in a lot of technology in our communities. So most notably in our activities programs. And so we purchased iPads for each community for residents to use. So when they moved in, we gave them that iPad for 2 weeks while they got settled and did their move-in quarantine period. And, they could use those to FaceTime with family, check the weather, watch videos, go on social media, things like that. And then we also provide Eversound headphones in each community to improve resident hearing and comprehension during activities. And then also virtual reality and memory care to help with reminiscence and memory recall. And so, as we've added these new technologies over the years, we look at our heat map, like the one you're seeing on your screen, and we've seen that activities is a new strength on our heat map. And, that provides us with the measurable data to verify that we're going in the right direction and people are enjoying these enhancements to our activities program.
That's awesome. And honestly, just like Emily, it sounds like you guys have seen a positive change and really been able to drive actions, from the insights that you're getting, right, from your residents and families, which is awesome. And what else is awesome is we have 2 more questions. So are you ladies ready? We got 2 questions coming in. So your first question is there an easy way, and this is from Angie, so thank you. Is there an easy way to bulk post on multiple Google business pages, or do you have to do them individually? And I can take that, and you girls, feel free to jump in. But yes, there's definitely an easy way to do that. And the nice part is it can scale with you. So if you have regions or divisions or state, you want to do it by state or whatever the case may be, you're able to pick 1 location, 10 locations, 500, communities if you have that many. So that's the nice part. So to answer your question, Angie, I hope I did, is yes, you can bulk post on multiple pages.
Yes, Angie, I mentioned that. Sorry, Kirsten, I'm just going to pop in here. I mentioned that previously in, uploading those question and answers. So, Empress, we have about 50 entities, and Reputation truly makes it so easy to bulk upload on multiple, Google My Business pages, as long as we have those credentials in there. And so, just for example, today is National IT Professionals Day. So this morning, I had my post created, and you can also schedule out those posts. I want to mention that. So you can, bulk upload, but you can also schedule out your posts for the whole month. And so I did that, for National IT Day. And I just bulk uploaded the graphic, and it went to all 50 entities within 30 seconds. So yes, it is very easy.
Cool. No, thank you for jumping in. That was a great example. And here's the second question. And I'll let you guys jump in on this. How did you get buy-in with your stakeholders to acknowledge reviews, and even more so, truly being able to take action on them?
I think, I can jump in on this, and I think, just seeing over, especially the last couple years where technology became so important, our residents are using it, our families are reading reviews. And, honestly, there was 1 or 2 situations where one of our community marketing directors emailed me and said, Katie, a family decided not to move in with us because they saw this negative review. And, so that really, obviously, I was already bought into the review importance, and my leadership team was as well. But I think really reading that jump started us into, okay, we have to have a plan to address this and take care of this immediately. And, that's when we really started looking into a platform and coming up with our plan.
Awesome. No, great. Thank you so much, Katie. And going on here, I think you, Katie, have a great example of what you guys have been doing with your feedback, specifically on social, right? And honestly, advocacy is the first thing that comes to mind, in that, right, you've got your residents and families advocating for you, telling others, you're then sharing it, right? How do you feel like this has helped your marketing efforts?
Yes, I get so excited when we get any reviews, and all of my communities and team members think I'm funny because I'm just so excited about it. But we heard earlier in the webinar that reviews can help boost our position on Google, which is where new prospects see us when they're actively searching for senior living options. But I also wanted to find a way to reach the passive searchers, those that maybe aren't really looking to move today or next week or next month, but are passively looking into their options. And so we highlight some of our reviews on social media, and this not only produces the positive attention for the community, but it also encourages more reviews from our social media followers. So most of our followers are our residents' families, our team members' families, and our residents. So seeing a review and us acknowledging and thanking them, encourages others to also leave their feedback. And occasionally, I'll even boost the post on social media so that it will be shown to non-followers in that area. So, for example, this post in the screenshot, I spent $5 to boost this one, and it reached 513 people, which I thought was really awesome. And it creates that brand recognition in the market when you reach those non-followers. And they might even tell a friend, oh, I've heard great things about Oakmont because they saw this review online. So I really, really like doing this, and the team really likes seeing it as well, and makes them proud to see these types of reviews as well.
Yes. And honestly, Katie, you hit on something there, right? Is sharing the positive, right? This is giving kudos out to everyone. Not only, yes, obviously it's on Google, but you're able to share this, thank the person that wrote the review, and really, especially if they mention, a certain staff member, it's another way, to give them kudos, which I think is a really cool best practice. And Emily, I've got the same question for you, right? How has this feedback helped with your marketing efforts?
Yeah, I go back to COVID. So during and after COVID, families especially wanted to see their loved ones in the community thriving, right? So everything was shut down. It's been very difficult for legal and compliance reasons to showcase our centers having fun with their activities. And so it was difficult for our centers to want to share posts being 6 feet away, having masks on. So with that being said, we have just suggested our centers who are starting to bring those events back, that they can start posting one resident doing the activity or showcasing the activity setup, and then showcase the reviews about those activities and care. And so I know a lot of research shows that you should get a larger engagement by posting 3 to 5 times a week. But I've really seen in healthcare specifically that posting a basic holiday graphic doesn't really attract the traffic like our centers who are posting a resident with their 4th of July swag on, exercising and living their best life. So I would rather see my centers posting a recap, of the week with their biggest activity, and then seeing them post job openings and basic holiday, other than seeing them post those job openings and basic holiday graphics. So, while that's still important, it's still great to post. It really doesn't attract the engagement and can seem repetitive to our followers. So I just challenge you to really start analyzing your followers and the engagement that you receive back on your posts, and then start, targeting those people and that engagement, and start posting more of it to get better engagement with the, maybe 1 to 2 or 3 posts a week instead of the 3 to 5.
Yeah, awesome stuff. You guys have some really, really cool best practices. I love it. And I'm going over here now. It looks like we've got another question. So from Kat, what are some best practices on sharing reviews? And I guess this could be anything too, but she's asking for reviews internally. That's a great question. And I can share, from my previous experience, we often see, even like I've seen executive level folks, read the reviews, and then they actually send the kudos out internally, and almost like a weekly or monthly shout out email kind of to the best of the best reviews or survey comments. So those are some cool things that I've seen on sharing reviews internally. I don't know if, Katie, Emily, do you guys have any other best practices that you wanted to add on to that?
Yeah, I would love to jump in because it's like my favorite part of the day. So like I said, I address reviews for a half an hour every day. And, what I normally do is I respond to the review and then I take a screenshot of it with my response. And I send that to, all of our communities have a group email address. So everyone in that community that has an email address gets the email. And so I send that screenshot to the group email and congratulate them on the 5-star review. I, make a funny comment about something in the review, or just give them those kudos. If it's a really special review that names a team member or, names a whole department or something, I'll share that privately with the executive director and tell them, hey, can you really make a big deal of this for Mary, or can you make a big deal when you do your, morning housekeeping meeting or whatever that, the case is, so that, they really can make a big deal when someone's named specifically. I know a lot of our communities will print out those reviews and hang them, by the time clock or in the employee lounge so that the employees can also, read all of those. And, then they also talk about them at their monthly all staff meetings. So, it's really fun. And when a community gets multiple in one day and I can send more than one in that email, it's really exciting. Or when they get one, 2 or 3 days in a row, it's really exciting because I can email them a review every day. Some people might think that's overkill, but I really think it's fun to, really send it every single time they get one to keep that buzz going and keep their excitement and happiness up throughout the week. So thanks for letting me share.
Yeah. And I personally don't think it's overkill at all. When I left the field, specifically senior care, that was something that our administrators and executive directors, that was actually their favorite thing. And I didn't know that, but it was like that weekly email that was sent, saying they just loved seeing all the positive stuff, especially, in this industry. It's so easy to get caught up in a lot of the negative things and things that our families are saying, or, the media or whatever it may be. So to be able to share those positive things, I think is really, really important. So.
Yeah. And I do copy in, our VP team, sometimes even our executive team and our C-suite. And so I copy them in on some of those review emails. And so I think it's really important for the community level team members when, the CEO or the VP of ops responds and says, great job, or, sends a bunch of emojis or a woohoo, so it's very exciting for us and our teams.
Yeah, I love it. And Emily, I didn't want to cut you off. I get really excited talking about this stuff, clearly. Did you want to add anything to that at all?
No, you guys nailed that. And I love it. I love everything you're doing, Katie. So keep it up, and we'll have to start implementing some of those things that you just mentioned.
Perfect. Cool. Okay. So we are getting down to it. The golden question, right? Or my golden question to you guys, but how do you guys, how do you guys see that marketing has changed over the last few years? And how do you predict it will change even in the next 3 to 6 months, 3 to 6 years? Emily, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I love this question, Kirsten. So with the decline in using our social pages to enhance and attract, traffic to keep our SEO up, we have really started optimizing our Google pages, like mentioned, to post photos, respond to reviews, and always, making those changes within the Google pages, which shows that, shows to Google that we are active, kind of how we talked about earlier. So we have used Reputation as an omni-channel experience to really bring in everything from everywhere and to take care of our Google pages, since we have really found it hard to do so on Facebook, right? Due to photos with or without masks. And, looking forward to the next 3 to 6 months, I see enhancements within our marketing due to, recently becoming a great place to work, which is really excited for 13 of our centers. They have just accomplished a great place to work certification. So I think that will enhance some of our centers to have better recruitment, hopefully better retention and better brand awareness. And then using Reputation, we are in the process of setting up reports for our centers to review their reputation scores and how they compare to our competitors. So using that competitor insights functionality that Reputation has. And then the last thing we are doing is working with our EHR system to set up a file to use, pulling data of our new admissions and discharges to automatically send out links for reviews to our new admissions and discharges. So I'm really excited to see how marketing will continue to change. As we all know, healthcare is always changing, and so is marketing. So that's kind of an overview of how we've changed and how I think it's going to change for us in the next 3 to 6 years. Katie, how have you seen marketing change?
Yeah, I love this question too. I think we've seen a huge increase in success with digital marketing in the last few years as opposed to print. Print does okay for us in some markets, but digital is where it's at. And I think as our adult children and even our residents become younger and more tech savvy, our online presence is, going to become so much more important. When I started in the industry about 15 years ago, I remember that none of the residents had cell phones, none of them had computers, and now they all do. They all have cell phones, they all use social media and Google, and they search the web. So I predict that our online reputations and online advertising will only get more important as time goes on. It has in the last couple of years, and I think even more so in, like you said, Chris, in the next 3 to 6 months and 3 to 6 years, it's going to probably be the most important medium as time goes on.
Yeah. Ooh, I love it. I love it. That's always, like I said, it's a fun question. And it looks like, speaking of questions, it looks like, we've got a few more and I'll read those here. But before I get to some of these questions, I just want to make sure that you guys know, on your guys' end, under the documents section or docs off to your right, please feel free to download. Those are 2 takeaways for you guys, and so feel free to snag those. And if there's anything that we didn't get to today for you guys, or any questions, or you want to see more, please feel free to click on that Get Demo button at the top, and that all will go directly to our team, and we'll make sure that we get those answered for you guys. So I've got one here. Let's see. Okay. Here's a good one. Retail, hospitality, etc. He was saying they always seem to be a little farther ahead of us as it pertains to just technology. What have you guys seen in other industries? Okay. Good question. So I've seen, particularly a few different things. One is a lot of movement, and we've been talking about Google like crazy, but actually around Google Chat, and really other ways that customers are reaching out to businesses. So a lot of them are turning, again, Facebook Chat, Google Chat is kind of that new and upcoming, like the newer thing, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, to be able to communicate with leads and even current customers, right? And they're also, even from a marketing perspective, I've seen that they're trending those themes, of maybe questions that they're getting or whatever for future content that they're creating. So, and we've got like this inbox functionality that they're able to, respond to all of those things from one spot. So that's made it a lot easier. So that's definitely one thing I've seen those other industries doing. And another one is, a lot of them are looking at ways that they measure up to their competitors, right? And how, like, what are our competitors doing well or maybe not so well that I can kind of compare myself against from a marketing perspective, from a hiring perspective, from a retention perspective, right? So for instance, like social listening, right? Or analyzing, competitors' ratings and reviews from Google or Glassdoor and Indeed. So those are some things that I have seen as far as that goes. And let me see. I thought I saw another question. Oh, so Melissa was saying, that it wasn't hard, necessarily, to post, right? Which totally agree, right? It was just really hard getting the resident and the representative to sign that we could share their photo. Every time, especially during COVID when families weren't allowed in. Oh gosh, I 100% agree with that, Melissa. I don't know if Katie or Emily, do you guys have any like best practices or what you guys are currently doing around that?
Yeah, we have in our move-in packets the media release, for our residents to sign. And so I think, if they don't sign it, I think we have more people that do sign it than don't sign it. And so each community is responsible for keeping track of who they are not allowed to post, on social media. And, I've encouraged them that if they get a really great picture of a resident or, group of residents that are not, have not given permission, I've encouraged the team, email that picture to their family member and say, oh my gosh, look at this amazing picture we got of your parent today. Can we share this on social media? And if they say yes, then, we can send them that release again. Maybe they just didn't know what it was in the beginning in the move-in packet, or maybe now that they're feeling more comfortable in the community, they can approve of it now. Otherwise, we just don't post it. We try to keep track of who we can and can't. And, usually there's only a handful of residents that don't give permission. So we can easily, just keep them out of the picture or crop them out of it. And then we've also had residents who have given permission and then they've said, I really don't want to be posted anymore. And we've gone back through and kind of deleted the pictures of them that we could find. So it is touchy, but it's definitely important, for our residents' dignity and their comfort level that we pay attention to that.
Yeah, Katie, and I'm just going to hop in here too. I think some of this goes back to compliance and legal and what your company kind of wants for this process. And so for Empress, our compliance and legal, we do have it in the move-in packet, but just like you said, Katie, sometimes our residents come back and they say, well, maybe I don't want to be shown on social media. And so our compliance and legal has said, we need to get a signed copy every single time, a picture is taken. And we kind of feel out our residents, right? Like if they're fully there, maybe, we will get it one time and we'll just do it on a 3-monthly basis. So I say for that question, we just kind of have to go back to the company and say, what do you guys want our process to be for this? Because I think when it comes to this, it could be different for everyone.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, Emily. Everybody, that I've worked with and where I came from, it's very different, and depending on legal and just Emily and Katie. I don't see any more questions in there, but again, please feel free again to click the Get Demo button, download those documents. But again, Katie and Emily, thank you so much. Your feedback and best practices, honestly, everything have been really, really insightful. And, I personally and Reputation obviously truly appreciate you ladies taking the time to share all of this with us today. And everybody that was on, thank you so, so much. And hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your week.
Thank you, Kirsten.
Thank you, Kirsten. And thanks everybody for joining us. It was a lot of fun.